What's up, you guys? So in this video, I'm pretty much just gonna be giving you guys a full A through Z step-by-step breakdown, just pretty much explaining how I made my client over $3,500 in just a little bit under 72 hours. Okay, and we did this without having any sales team at all, and this client literally had 800 followers on Instagram. Okay, so I know you guys are gonna find a lot of value from this. I'm literally gonna be giving you guys the full A through Z funnel that we use, the full sales process that we use, the nurturing process, and pretty much everything that went into making this creator literally 3,500 with 800 followers on Instagram in under 72 hours. Okay. So yeah, I hope you guys found a lot of value from this. Take notes, use it. And I know you guys are gonna get results with it because I'm currently still using this system to this day. And I've used it with every single client that I've worked with in the past. Okay. So yeah, talk to you guys in the next segment and stay tuned. All right, what's up, you guys? So I'm about to pretty much just get into this breakdown, just pretty much explaining how I made this micro creator 3.5K in a little bit under 72 hours. And again, when I say micro creator, he literally had 800 followers on Instagram. You can see right here, 822 followers on Instagram. And we collected over 3.5K. Now, right now it's at 2.5K cash collected. We're actually getting the rest of the payments as I'm filming this video today. So yeah, I mean, the numbers aren't crazy, but for a creator that has 800 followers on Instagram, I know people that are trying to sign people that have like 10, 15K, 20K, and they can barely even make like 5 to 10K. So yeah, I know this video will be valuable to somebody who is probably just trying to make some money with a creator, and just want to let you guys know that follower count does not matter at all. Okay, I'm doing this with someone that has 800 followers, and we had no sales team at all. 800 followers on Instagram. You guys are trying to sign people that have 10, 20K. It doesn't matter about the follower count. It just matters about the niche and the lead quality. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and break down everything about this launch, how we actually, got these leads, what the sales process was, and pretty much the whole strategy behind it. Okay. So before I even get into anything, I just want to kind of go ahead and explain what we were doing beforehand and giving you guys a little bit knowledge on this specific creator. So when I first started working with him, this was about probably like around like a month ago, 30 days ago, probably something like that. And he had literally no offer at all. I came across his YouTube. He had like 2,000 followers on YouTube. So that's a pretty decent sign. If you guys see a creator and they have like a decent following on YouTube, you should definitely look out to them, because YouTube leads, if you know anything about YouTube leads are extremely, extremely warm. So that was like a big green sign for me. I was like, okay, you guys, put 2K on YouTube. I know he could do something. He could do something because these leads had to be warm. And I could tell from his content that he was building up a decent audience that actually kind of trusted him. So, I knew that we could at least do something, right? And on top of that, as well, he had a pretty decent Discord community, a free community that he was building up for a little bit. So we had a whole bunch of leads that were just kind of just getting nurtured through that free Discord. And that's a really good sign as well, because if you have a Discord that has, let's say, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in it, and they're actually active and they're warming them up, you're doing like free live calls, you're giving whatever niche it is, whether it's trading, free trades, whatever. Those leads are going to be extremely warmed up just because they've been inside the free Discord for a while and they've been getting nurtured. And it's a pretty easy way to run any sort of like funnel, waitlist funnel. That's specifically what we did for this client, but a waitlist funnel on the back end. Okay. But so pretty much what I wanted to do is I noticed that before when we started working, he pretty much wasn't collecting any phone numbers. So he didn't have any lead lists. He had literally no email list. We had to build that from complete scratch. He had no phone number list. So he wasn't like tracking any of the leads that were joining his Discord. He wasn't putting them in different, automations to nurture them up even more. He was literally just like losing every single lead. I know a lot of coaches do this. They don't track anything. They don't know where their leads are, and they have no process of actually make sure that these leads are effectively getting nurtured. So the first thing I actually did, and we did this for around like a week and a half, is pretty much we ran a free course opt-in funnel. So instead of kind of promoting his Discord right off the bat, we were pretty much just telling leads, hey, we're working on some sort of free course. And we did this also with inside of the Discord. And then we also did this on a story just to get more leads that weren't in the Discord. And pretty much we just did this to collect a lot of phone numbers, because we already knew that we were going to launch this high ticket, but we wanted to make sure that we had a decent amount of leads that we could hit up for the actual high ticket launch. So what we actually did here is that we had a pretty much a free course. Let me go move this. Pretty much we had a free course opt-in funnel that we ran. So we created like a little free course. We had leads go ahead and put in their name, email, and phone number just to go ahead and get access to this free course. And then once they would go ahead and probably put in their information, automatically they would get added into our backend system. So we would literally added these guys into an email list. That's how we built his email list up to like 400, 500 people when he had literally nobody in there. And then pretty much they would get automatically added into an email sequence. And then that's how we would just nurture them over time, just sending them more emails throughout, the week with daily emails and stuff like that. So this is the specific email that they were getting. It was just saying, yo, what's up? Appreciate you for signing up. I made sure to pack this with the free course, yada, yada, just trying to provide a lot of value and just make sure that these leads are effectively getting nurtured, right? After that as well, Bug looks, my Mac looks gonna die. But after that as well, they were getting added, or we redirected them over to a different page where we just asked them a couple of questions based off of where they were at with organic. So for this specific offer, it was an organic dropshipping offer. So we redirect them to a form. It just gives us a little bit of information on the specific target market, and you can really just use this as market research. That's pretty much what I use it as. So I was just asking them, where were they from? How old are they? What are they struggling with? And then pretty much after you do this for a while, you can get a pretty decent understanding of who your ICP is. And leading up to the high ticket launch, you're going to understand what they're actually struggling with. So that's going to help you with service delivery. And also it's going to help you with the marketing and the marketing material that you need to use to actually be able to speak to that specific audience that you're trying to sell to, right? So that's pretty much what we did. And we had a pretty decent amount of forms, just doing this, like I said, for around a week and a half before we actually launched. And then of course they got added into Slack channels as well. So we were literally just tracking all of the leads that were coming through. As you can see right here, it will just say free course opt-in, and then we pretty much just put those leads inside that chat that we could just track them. You don't have to do that, but I just decided to do that because I wanted to see where they were at. And then after that, they just got redirected into the WAP page to claim the free access to the course. And then of course, the course literally works as a nurturing process as well, because if somebody's watching a free course of you, whether that's like a couple videos, maybe that's an hour-long, 2-hour-long course, whatever, somebody's spending that much time with you, and if they're actively even taking notes and studying it, they're going to trust you, especially if they get results from your free course. Because if they get results from the free course, they're going to be like, okay, I trust this guy. I went through his free course. I know he has a lot of value because he's helped me out for free. So when you do launch some sort of high ticket offer, some one-on-one coaching, they're going to be like, okay, cool. I trust this guy. I've watched him for a while. So let me see what he has to offer. So that's pretty much the whole purpose of running a free course, is just to kind of, collect leads, of course, nurture them up even more, but then just, like I said, provide value to get them to really trust you. And that's the biggest thing that we really want to focus on for this launch. And then as well as here's some of the automations that we were using. So, automatically once a lead would come in, they would get added into these systems. So they got a tally, or pretty much that's the system that we use for the free course. So once a new submission got created, they were added into our email sequences and ConvertKit. And then as well as they were added into a Slack chat and a Google Sheet. And then as well as they also got added into, of course, our Go High Level systems, which is pretty much like our pipeline that we track all the leads from, right? And then here's just a WAP automation as well. Anytime a new member joined the WAP, they got added into an email list. And then, of course, we added them into a Slack chat as well. So, yeah, it's pretty much the funnel that we use for the beginning, like before we even launched the high ticket, like I said, just to build a lot of trust. If you have a new creator that hasn't sold any info in the past, they've been building a free Discord community, and they don't have, if they're not tracking any leads, or they don't have an email list, this is something that you can really do to just, it's pretty much a lead magnet. You use it as a lead magnet, and you provide a lot of value to your audience, but then you also get a lot of information from the people, inside the audience, using it from like market research and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we did for, like I said, first week. And then here's like the actual story sequence that we used, right? We just had like a story sequence, kind of just build up a little bit of hype for the free course. And then, we dropped it with a little story sequence. As you can see, here's some of the slides that we use. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's simple. Like I said, it's just a simple story sequence, just kind of, building up a little bit of trust, making it sound exclusive, and then just getting people to join, right? So that's pretty much the process that we use for the actual free course. Now, after that, as I said, after we already had a decent amount of leads, so we did this for around a week and a half, we had already built up the lead list to like 400, 500 people on the email list. We had a decent amount of numbers that we could call and hit up. I was like, okay, cool. They've been nurtured. Let's actually get this high ticket launch started, right? And pretty much the launch that we use for this creator is a pretty simple launch. I use this for pretty much everybody that I've worked with, and most people that I plan on working with right now. I do this launch strategy because it works really effectively, especially in the BizOps space. It works really good. And pretty much what it is a waitlist launch, right? So the purpose of even running this specific funnel is just to kind of, like I said, build up a list of a lot of leads. So you're going to get their phone numbers, their names, their emails, and then before launching the high ticket offer. And then during this process, of course, once they actually sign up for the waitlist, you can use it as market research. And then as well as you're going to, of course, send them out like nurturing emails and campaigns to kind of just nurture those leads up with emails over time, right? So the funnel traffic sources that we use for this specific client was literally only Instagram stories, his YouTube, and his existing Discord community. So just to let you guys know, he has 800 followers on Instagram. His YouTube had around 2,000 followers at the time. And then his Discord community had around, I think 1,000 members in there, 900 to 1,000, which is a pretty good sign. Those weren't all active people that were actively showing up, but he had around 900 to 1,000 people inside the Discord, right? So when you're doing this waitlist as well, just letting you guys know, you want to promote the shit out of this. So pretty much every other day leading up to the launch, you literally just want to post the waitlist on literally just your Instagram stories. You want to post it on the Discord communities. You want to make announcements inside the free course chat, the WAP, or inside the Discord. You want to promote it inside of emails, pretty much everywhere you can, because you want to fill up this list as much as possible, right? And then after, of course, they would go to the wait list. Often they would get sent over to a Typeform signup, which I'm going to go ahead and explain how this will all work in a second. But they'll go to a Typeform signup. We'll ask them a couple different questions based off of where they're at, where they're struggling with, how much they have to invest, all this type of different stuff, right? And then after they go to that Typeform, they'll get redirected over to a thank you page, which is pretty much just telling them, hey, thank you for signing up for the waitlist. Just getting to know a little bit about the creator story, providing a little bit more value, and just kind of framing the offer correctly. So that way, the leads actually understand what they're opting in for, and they understand, what they signed up for. Because you don't want to just have leads. I see a lot of people in the info space right now is they're running this funnel. They're trying to run a waitlist funnel, and they have a Typeform, but they have no other backend video to actually frame the offer. Like, you can't just have a Typeform, because people will fill out an application, but there's no specific video letting them know what they signed up for, or like the creator's not actually talking to them. A lot of the times when you call those leads up, they're probably going to forget. They probably fill out forms. Like, a lot of people fill out forms for a lot of different stuff. And if it's just a physical form, there's no video that they're watching, chances are they won't really understand what they're opting in for. So that's why I always like to add this thank you video page as pretty much a framing, to let them know, hey, congrats, you signed up for my, waitlist for a mentorship, whatever, and just giving them a little bit of understanding of what they actually opted in for, right? And then as well, after that, they get added into an email sequence. It's pretty much like a welcome email sequence for the leads that actually opt in. Okay. So here's an actual Typeform sign up. So once the leads actually go to the waitlist page, they'll actually get sent over to a Typeform. So pretty much a Typeform, these are the questions that we have on here. I can go ahead and break it down a little bit more. So pretty much, we just tell them right here, well, it's a welcome screen. It says, complete this quick survey to get early access to our March 15th release, revealing all the secrets I used to become a successful organic job shipper, right? Why do you want to do this business model? It's the first question we ask them, of course. Enter the details. How old are they? What are they struggling with? How long have they been doing this business model for? How long have they been doing it for? Yeah, then we have a couple questions. Are they looking to turn this into a full-time income? What is their current monthly income? So that question is really crucial, because you're going to understand your specific ICP. What are they doing for work? How much do they make? And based off of that, you're going to understand what type of pricing would make sense for product market fit. Because, one thing I also noticed with this is, after we ran this, we noticed that a lot of people in his audience were literally dead broke, just because this specific creator was like 18 or 17 years old at the time. He's very young. He was doing organic job shipping. And a lot of his audience was very fucking young, and none of them really had money. Like, all of them were saying like 0 to 500. So it was pretty hard to sell a high ticket offer. Now we pretty much we created this within like 4 or 5 days, and we launched it because he wanted to get everything going. So we didn't even have a mid-ticket offer. Usually what I would do is we would have some different downsell offers that people can't afford. A high ticket, we downsell them to a mid-ticket, but this client just really wanted to go fast with this. So we really did the best that we could within the short time frame that we really had, right? So we just asked them what's their current monthly income, and then how much capital do they have to currently invest into organic job shipping. And they just pretty much put that number in, right? Now, after they go ahead and actually fill out all these details, like I said, they'll go ahead and get redirected over to a thank you video, pretty much just warming up these leads and framing them on the offer correctly. So here's how the actual video is going to look. This isn't the exact one that we used, because the exact one we actually had, we deleted it. But I just went ahead and kind of remade it just so you guys can kind of understand. This video is literally around, as you can see, 2 minutes long. It's nothing crazy. We scripted this out for him, right? We told him exactly what to say. So make sure you're doing that for your clients. And then pretty much he just tells them, hey, thank you for signing up for the, thank you for signing up for the mentorship, for the waitlist for my mentorship. Just giving them a little bit about his story, warming them up a little bit more. And then as well as after we actually redirect the leads over to the free course, if they haven't got access to it, just to make sure that we're nurturing them even more. So of course they get a lot of free value and they actually trust the creator, right? So that's pretty much the whole process of what we actually did for that specific, Typeform sequence, right? Now, when it comes to actually the email flows and everything like that, like I said, we had pretty much a welcome email that we were sending over to these leads. So automatically, once these leads were actually, joining the mentorship or joining the waitlist for the mentorship, they will automatically get added into an email sequence. So pretty much we use this in ConvertKit. We added them a specific email sequence, and we would have different emails that we would send them every other day, pretty much just trying to warm them up, giving them a lot of value. And I'll cover exactly what you're going to go ahead and talk about in these emails. But pretty much the whole point of it is, like I said, to kind of just nurture up these leads, right? So right here, as you can see, once these leads would actually opt in, this is a specific email that they were getting. It was like, yo, appreciate you for signing up for the exclusive Inner Circle program. you're taking the first step, shows me that you're actually serious about changing your life. This program will give you everything you need to scale it from zero to making money, yada, yada, yada. And then pretty much just giving them a little bit their journey. And then we have them reply back me. So, of course, we can get out of their spam. And then we can, actually send them emails that go to their inbox, right? You always want to make sure that you do that. And we had the creator actually tell them that inside the waitlist video. So that way they could actually do it. And then, of course, all of our emails could go to their inbox, right? And then as well as other than that welcome email, we were nurturing them every single day, pretty much just sending about one email per day, just nurturing them up and then giving them a lot of value, right? So we had something right here. It was just saying like, this is one of the emails that we sent out. This character trait changed my life forever. For some reason, this was only to the waitlist leads. So as you can see right here, these are when we had around 37 opt-ins. Now for this specific waitlist, we had around like 50 or 60 people opt in. It was really low just because he didn't have that much traffic. So like I said, we did the best that we could, but we had a 50% open rate for this specific email, which I don't really know why. I don't think the copy was that crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just because these leads are warmer and they actually opted in, but that's a good sign though. I mean, you're having a 48% open rate. That's really good, right? And then for this specific, email, we had around a 22% open rate, which normally that's what we got. We got like a 20 to 25, sometimes 30 in that range open rate, which is okay. And then that's what we're doing. So like I said, in these emails, the whole framework of what you want them to be doing is the whole point of this is going to be nurturing the leads up as much as possible. That way they actually trust, know, and like the creator before you actually launch the high ticket. So one thing that we actually do in these emails is we do a lot of storytelling. So you want to make sure that you're telling the creator story as much as possible. One thing you should do, one thing you should do when you guys actually, sign your client is that you want to make sure that they send you over a specific detailed video on their whole story, right? So what I had him do is I had him send me over like a 5-10 minute video. The longer, the better, really. But 5-10 minute video of him just literally going over his whole story, his whole, journey with business, things that he did in the past, why he failed, everything, right? Because you want to make sure that you understand your creator as much as possible. Because when you're writing these emails, you're going to literally be the creator. Like you're the one writing the email. So you need to understand lots of things about their life. And that's how you're going to be able to actually market to the specific audience that actually, is reading his emails, right? So storytelling is really huge because it gets people to actually trust and know the creator's story, as well as just providing a lot of value. So we were covering literally just like in-depth drop shipping stuff that a lot of people were like just getting wrong, whether that's like, things about doing product research for this specific audience, or whether that's, how to actually go viral with their products, just pretty much just actual drop shipping stuff. So that when people actually open up these emails, they want to read them because they're like, okay, this is actually valuable. I like what I'm learning from this, right? So that's pretty much what we're doing with that. And then as well as breaking any limiting beliefs. So, some type of limiting belief that a lot of people were trying to have was that, they feel like, maybe they're too young to do this, or, maybe it's too hard to do it, or maybe they tried it before and it doesn't work. Whatever limiting beliefs that your audience has, you want to make sure that through these emails, you're breaking them, because the more that you actually break these limiting beliefs through their emails, when they actually hop on sales calls, they're going to not have that belief system anymore just because you've already broken it through the emails, and they're going to trust you a lot more. So anytime you can have just write down a list of objections of what that specific audience is facing. That's what I would do. I would write down a list of objections of what they're facing, things that they would give on calls. And then I would literally just try to drill that through the marketing and drill that through the emails. That way, when they do hop on calls, they're not having those objections anymore, which it will make it a lot better for your sales team. But for this specific launch, I was literally doing everything because it was a really small client and like they need to hire a sales team. But if I did have a sales team, it would make it a lot easier for them. Right. But yeah. And then as well as just showing any testimonials that you have. So any people that were getting results of the program, anybody that you've helped, those will pretty much build up a lot of trust as well. So that's pretty much what we did for those emails. Right. And then here's some of the automations that we actually use. Anytime a new lead opted in, they would get added into, our email sequences right here. And then as well as they would get added into our Slack. And then as well as they would get added into our Go High Level system. So that's pretty much how that whole automation process worked, right? Now, here's the actual launch strategy for this offer, right? So when you're launching this, like I said, you want to build up the waitlist as much as possible. Typically, you're going to promote this for around a week using all the traffic sources for this client. We'll use Instagram, Discord, email, and YouTube, a little bit of TikTok as well. So after you've done promoted the waitlist for around like a week, what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to get ready to launch, right? Pretty much you're just going to build it out for a little bit, build it up for around a week, and then you're going to get pretty much ready to launch. So of course, you're going to have like a whole story sequence, kind of like something that we had with the last, the free course often that I showed you. You're going to probably do that when you actually hard launch on the stories. But if you have a decent amount of leads, if you have a decent amount of leads on your waitlist, you can make a lot of money without even doing like a hard launch. So you don't even have to sometimes do a full story sequence because you already have a lot of leads on the private launch at the back end from the waitlist. And you don't want to have to really do like a hard launch. But this specific client, we didn't have that much lead, so we still ended up doing a public launch and a story. But pretty much after promoting this for around a week, what you're going to go ahead and do is we had our client a day before launch. What he actually ended up doing was he posted a YouTube video with the CTA to the application for the offer. All right, cool. So my computer died, but anyways, what was I saying? So okay, cool. So after you're pretty much done promoting this, waitlist for around a week, and you already collected a lot of leads, you're going to get ready to launch, right? So typically, what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to actually get ready to hard launch. At least a week of building up that lead list, and you have a lot of leads on that wait list. So what I had my client do is I pretty much had him actually record a YouTube video, and on the day of launch, he pretty much posted a YouTube video with a CTA directly towards the VSL application. Right. So they got sent over directly towards the VSL. And of course we did an IG story sequence as well, but we did that, like, honestly, with this client, we did a little bit after because we're just calling up all the leads and we didn't want to get bombarded with too much leads coming in. But you can do this on the same exact day. It doesn't really matter. And then we also had emails that were going out. Of course, we're doing the emails. We said, hey, Inner Circle doors are open. And then we pretty much dialed every single person on that lead list that was already opted in, which was in total around like 60 people that signed up for the wait list, right? So we had a YouTube video, and the YouTube video directly CTA'd people towards the VSL. Now, this doesn't have to be like a specific YouTube video. All you want your client to do in this video, if it's like a vlog type of video, which was the vlog, it was like a vlog type of video. He pretty much just told them that his Inner Circle was open. If they wanted to go ahead and fill out an application to get accepted, they could go ahead and go to the link in the description, and then we pretty much just CTA them over to the VSL. Right, with the Instagram stories as well, everybody that was on the Instagram story sequence, we directly send them over to the VSL. With the emails, they were sent directly over to an application page, and then of course the waitlist, I pretty much just dialed everybody over the phone, qualified them, and then what you want to do after you qualify leads is the next step is to get them on a call. Right. So that's pretty much the actual launch strategy that we used. Right. So, build up the waitlist for around a week as much as possible. You can do this for around like a week, 2 weeks, but a week is a good amount of time if you have decent traffic that you can fill it up. But I mean, the longer doesn't hurt. Right. So you can do for like a week, 2 weeks, promote it for around a week, using all the traffic sources. And then of course you launch, and we launched on Instagram, did a story sequence, YouTube, we posted a YouTube video, CTA to application, emails got sent out. Of course, we direct them to an application, and then we dialed everybody on the wait list, and then pretty much we just booked the calls. Right. So that's pretty much the actual process that you're going to go ahead and use when you actually launch. And that's what we did for this client. Right now, here's the actual high ticket of VSL and the sales process that we actually used, right? So for this offer and for this specific client, we use a VSL opt-in funnel. Now, VSL opt-in funnels are pretty simple. They work pretty effectively. It's a good way to, get a lot of contacts, track a lot of people in the sales process, but then also it's just a really effective funnel. Okay, so this funnel is literally just the funnel that we used to sell the high ticket offer. And on top of actually dialing up all the leads on the wait list, we use the opt-in funnel to actually sell the high ticket VSL. Right. So how it works is, you're collecting the opt-in details. So they put in their name, phone numbers, emails to go ahead and get access to, the offer. After that, they get redirected over to a different page, which is a VSL page. And then of course we have a VSL on there, and then we have a whole bunch of case studies to kind of just nurture them up and warm them. And then after that, they get sent over to an application page as well. So if they do like the offer on the page and they like the testimonials, whatever, they'll be able to actually go ahead and go to an application. And then, through the application, if they're either qualified, they'll get sent over to a book call page, and then of course the call confirmation page. And if they're disqualified, they'll get ended over to an end my application page, and they'll be like, thanks for filling out an application. Expect a call from my team shortly. Right. Which I'll go ahead and explain. I'll show you actually this exact funnel for the client and how it works. But also I'm going to go ahead and explain how we qualify and disqualify people. So pretty much how we disqualify and qualify is, if a lead told us that he has like $0 to $500 to invest, which is like the low end question that we asked in the form, then he would get sent over to a different page that says, thanks for filling out the form on the application. Expect a call from my team shortly. And pretty much I just called that lead up and I was like, hey, seeing that you put like $0 to $500 in the form, was this some sort of like mistake, or do you genuinely have $0 to $500? Sometimes people actually do have $0 to $500. Or what I notice is that people, and I've done this in the past, and what I've noticed all the time is that people will literally just put $0 to $500 because they don't want to say that they have money. And sometimes that happens because a lot of times leads are scared to say that they have money on the form, or, they just don't want to say that they have money. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're literally just going to still call them up. If they really don't have money, you're going to DQ him on a different offer, right? For this specific client, he really just wanted to get everything started super quick. So like most of the times we're going to have some sort of downsell offer, some sort of mid-ticket offer, then a low-ticket offer. For this specific client, he wanted to get things up and running in like 2-3 days. It was like a 2-3 day turnaround that I had to build all these systems out and pretty much launch. So we didn't even have courses out. We didn't have a mid-ticket offer. So pretty much what we did is we just literally was trying to get these guys on some sort of payment plans, right? The offer price was 1K. So it was like 1 to 1.5K, which is a pretty low ticket offer. Well, it's high ticket, but it's not like a high ticket offer, just because he was like really new with his audience and he didn't have a lot of trust. So it didn't really make sense to, like I said, sell like a 2-3K offer, especially when you don't have trust. Plus, a lot of his demographic was saying $0 to $500 in the forum. So we already couldn't sell a 2-3K offer because it just wouldn't work, right? But unless, of course, you're targeting a specific part of that audience that has that money. But if you aren't, or you're trying to target like a bigger part of the audience, then running like a 2-4K offer isn't probably going to work if they say like $0 to $500. Okay. But yeah, so pretty much just how the actual funnel works. They would just come here, they would go over to an application page. Then from here, we pretty much just scripted out this whole thing for him. Exclusive dropshipping blueprint. How I went from constantly picking bad products to perfecting my blue ocean product research strategy that made me consistent cash flow in 90 days, right? They click get the blueprint. Once they actually click this, they automatically have to put in all their contact details. And then, once they actually put that information in, they'll get added into backend systems through emails. They'll get a nurturing sequence, and then pretty much they'll get warmed up, right? Now, like I said, this offer isn't running anymore, so we don't have the videos or anything like that on here. But pretty much just a video that just kind of warms his leads up on the offer and then just sells them on the actual offer, right? And we scripted it out for him. It was actually like 13 pages long of copy that we wrote out for him, right? And then once they actually watch this, if they like the offer, they'll go here and actually go ahead and fill out the application. And then of course we have some, testimonials here. If they click apply now, they'll get routed back up. See, this is a good fit for you. They're going to just go ahead and put in all their details right here to see if they're a good fit, right? We asked them a couple of questions like what's their experience with drop shipping, how old are they, right? What do they currently do for work? I'm just gonna say I'm a fucking chef, right? They put in that information. If they're accepted into the inner circle, are they ready to get started ASAP? They're gonna, of course, say yes. We tell them right here that we deny 73% of applications just to pretty much, just make it a little bit more scarce and make them actually put time into the application. And then they're just gonna go ahead and type out why they think they're a good fit. What's their biggest pain point? They're going to go ahead and put that in there as well. We tell them right here that this group is not free. It's our highest level offering where they work hands on hands with you. So you want to make sure they understand that this group is not free and it costs an amount, right? And this is pretty much how the disqualified or qualified goes. So if they put 0 to 500, they're going to get sent over to a page that just says, thank you for filling out your form, right? Which I don't want to do that because then I have to restart the whole thing. But if they click 500 to 1,500, then they'll be able to go ahead and book a call. So you can see right here, they get sent over to a different page, which clearly says, go ahead and, book your call with our inner circle. And then pretty much we have an inner circle interview that we had with Callie. Of course, we just had a book call, right? They go ahead and pretty much just put, all their contact details in. They'll go ahead and book a call. After that, they'll get redirected over to a different page, right? Start to redirect. They get redirected over to a different page. It pretty much just says, you're almost done. Complete these steps. Pretty much just making sure they actually show up and framing the actual call so they understand what they, just booked a call for. We just help them that prepare for their interview. We give them a couple of steps to make sure that the interview is confirmed. And then we have a couple of different student results here to make sure that, they get warmed up and they actually trust us, right? A little bit after this, you want to make sure that you're going ahead and calling the leads up on the phone just to kind of confirm that they booked their call, make sure they're actually warm, and then also make sure they actually have the amount that they said that they have on the form. Okay. So that's pretty much the actual whole high ticket process for it. Of course, I said, if they don't have the money or they get sent over to the different page that says, my team will fill out, we'll call you shortly. There's 2 channels in Slack that we have. One says qualified, one says disqualified. All the leads that says 500 to 1,000 plus, they'll get in the qualified chat and they'll be able to book a call. The leads that have 0 to 500 will get put in a disqualified applicant chat. And then I'll manually call them up and try to FQ them and see if they have money, and then, try to either do some payment plan, or in this case, of course, you can, downsell on different offers if you have them, right? But that's pretty much the actual process that we use for this client, right? A pretty simple process. Like I said, it's a waitlist process. And it's a pretty simple process. You just collect leads. You build up a lot of hype for the offer. You build up a, lead list of people that are interested in the offer, and then you run some sort of high ticket VSL. And then you just have really good sales process. You have really good systems, and you can make a lot of money with this, right? And again, this is a really small creator. He had 800 followers, and we had no sales team at all. at all. I was doing everything. Typically with a bigger client, of course, I'm going to have a sales team because I'm not going to sit here all day and do this. But if you don't have a sales team, you can still run this effectively if you have a smaller client that doesn't have that much traffic. It's really good, and you can understand, how to actually scale an offer. So yeah, I hope you guys found a lot of value from this. I hope you guys, found a lot of value from this. If you guys have any other questions, or you guys are coaches and you guys want help scaling your info products, just text me on Instagram. I'm not going to have an application below, but just text me on Instagram and just DM me. Let me know what you're struggling with. We can chop it up, see if I can help you out. If you are somebody who, is an operator, whatever, you have any other questions, you want to connect with me on Instagram, just DM me on Instagram. I respond to most of my DMs. And yeah, bro, hope you guys found value from this. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.